training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners.
Team, welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Wheezy Shoemaker, and I'm joined by Justin McClintock, and I have new headphones.
I noticed. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. We bought them refurbished. Very
cool.
excited.
I love that.
New life to something that somebody else had discarded. We'll take it.
I love refurbished stuff. I bought a lot of, especially electronics like from the dealer or a place that I trust are great. There's so much stuff these days. This isn't true for everything, but a lot of the things I use regularly have kind of gotten as good as they're going to get, it appears. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be like this phone to that phone was a big jump and it could do all of these new things and stuff that you couldn't do before. And now it's like, yeah, the screen's a little bigger. I guess it might be a little brighter. I guess the processor's faster, but I've never noticed this being slow. I don't really care. I'll buy last year's phone, especially if a company's going to warranty it or something, for half the price.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you only notice so much of a difference when we're talking about like the jump from 1080p to 4K. Like, I'm not trained on that, and so I don't notice, and or OLED. I can't. Yes, it looks bright. It looks nice. Great. Cool. I would much rather spend $600 on a TV that's great than $3,000 on one that's like industry best.
And that you might not notice the difference anyway, right? Like the jump from standard def to high def was giant.
Yeah.
High def to 4K is, depending on the size of the screen. I mean, it's noticeable. It's significant.
Sure.
And now it's like getting smaller and smaller for most of the stuff that I care about and do and use. I know that there's other professionals and people out there that it matters a lot to, but I don't have or want, a 100-inch TV screen, and I'm not shooting stuff that's going to get blown up into billboard size posters or anything like that.
Right. I mean, we could talk about that from a fitness perspective too. The episode that just dropped was Does Gear Matter? And earn your upgrades, right? Like earn your gear. And like basically all 3-pound dumbbells are the same. But fundamentally, I might want one that has a slightly different ergonomic handle. I might prefer a rubber to like a steel or a coated dumbbell, right? Like there's just all these different preferences that for most people, what's out there is fine.
Yeah. Especially if you're starting something. I mean, I know we kind of had this conversation, but like if you have never done it, just get the entry level, get something easy, get something accessible. Maybe buy it used. When I was building the gym, I spent a lot of time on Facebook Marketplace, partly looking for stuff, but also kind of gathering reconnaissance on what stuff was resellable. Because I was also interested in like things change, things happen. Maybe I want to sell stuff. If I want to, I have very limited space. So if I want to add something, that might mean I have to subtract something.
Right.
And noticing that like these brands that it's not that surprising, seem to hold their value really well. And lots of other stuff doesn't. But if I was starting from scratch, I'm like, oh yeah, is it a squat rack? Great. Perfect.
Yeah. Right. That's a big reason why most of the like physical apparel that I buy, although not so much as of late because of outfitting sustained with dead stock. But when I'm purchasing for myself, I almost always buy Vori, Lululemon, Athleta, because I know that if something should happen to my size or preferences or whatever, like if I buy something final sale, for example, that I cannot return if it doesn't fit, I know that if it's one of those 3 brands, it's going to sell somewhere. Whereas like, the thing from Aerie or Target or somewhere else, right? Like the Real Essentials brand something might be just as high quality, but if I should receive it, not be able to return it or evolve out from it, it's then gonna add to like landfill slop. And I hate that.
Yeah, exactly. Like something you can resell or feel really good about donating, knowing that like, oh, this has
Yeah.
lots of life left in it. Someone else can definitely use it, as opposed to something. I've definitely had times when I pulled a shirt out and was like, I don't think I can ethically donate this. I think it makes me an asshole. This thing is like getting seriously threadbare. I would be mad if someone gave this to me for free. I think we need to cut it up for rags or something else, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, in a perfect world, that's how much we'd wear all of our items before replacing them. And bodies change, styles change, your affinity for certain fabrics or cuts or colors, etc., might change. And so we
Mhm.
want to be conscious of being global citizens while also like acknowledging that things can change.
Yeah, exactly. And there's stuff that I just don't wear all the time. I mean, especially in this line of work,
Yeah.
I wear suits, a couple times a year,
Right.
honestly. I own several. Uh, it just doesn't come up very often.
Yeah. Yeah. Something that's been on my would really like to do this list that I just have not pulled the trigger on is I really want to get a custom pantsuit made.
Custom stuff is great. I have a couple of custom things and I love them.
Mhm. And get measured and expect to spend, I mean, even if it's one of the cheaper places, it's still going to be like at least $600.
Yeah.
Um and I was planning to do that for the portraiture that I'd won.
Mhm.
We haven't talked about this on the podcast at all. It doesn't matter. Because it
I know what you're
expired.
talking about, but I don't think we've
Yes.
talked about it here. Yeah.
Cliff notes, I was at a benefit gala for a organization called Thriving Beyond Breast Cancer, which
Mhm.
supports young women diagnosed with breast cancer, like specifically 40 and under. Usually they're younger than even like the preventative diagnostics begin. And so because of that, often it's a later stage. Because they didn't notice it until there started to be some real problems. And so also considering okay, well, what does life for a 36-year-old woman look like? Often there's at least a young kid, maybe several young kids, probably not this huge lump sum of money to be able to invest into health insurance, maybe not the best health insurance plan. And so Thriving supports young women who are diagnosed with this incredible, wonderful box full of things that are both useful and also decadent. And they give out stipends.
That's cool.
And they did a ton of research to figure out what do we need to call this and how does it need to be coded so that the women that we bequeath this to are not taxed on it. And so it's not a grant, it's not a gift, it specifically is a stipend. And so they do a benefit once a year, and the founder and CEO, her name is Bess. I adore her. She probably won't listen to this, but I'd love it if she did. She is a client of mine, and she invited me to go. And so I went, and they had a silent auction. And I took my very dear friend Lauren with me, who will listen to this. And I think it's the closest to popping a molly that I could possibly feel is true when we bid on this portraiture silent auction, like a $5,000 fly to New York City, get this portrait done by somebody who does portraits for the owner of a football team.
Right.
And we won. The bummer is that it did have an expiration date, and
Mhm.
Lauren and I planned to go together, and she was not going to be able to travel for some very, very legitimate reasons. And I didn't want to use it without her. So we just considered it a donation to Thriving. But I was planning on getting this
Right.
custom suit made for that because there is actually a dress code. And it was recommended that ladies wear like long sleeve ball gowns and that
Mhm.
men wear like very nice tailored suits or even tuxes. And so I decided, well, I'm going to be the real asshole who like shows up in this incredible like green velvet, perfectly tailored, like go fuck yourself suit.
Yeah.
So it's still on my list as like, man, that would be really cool to like have a photo shoot at Sustained and be like the bad bitch in a lacy bra and this incredible like green velvet suit that doesn't exist yet. So
I think that's an excellent idea.
Sometime.
Yeah. You're going to have to do a photo shoot there.
I am going to have to do a photo shoot. That's true.
I've been thinking I need to do a photo shoot and I don't know what the fuck to do about it. Well, it's been a couple years. I need to like, and I'm in a new place, but like I don't have, a gym I can just take over for a few hours and do it in.
Right.
The garage is small and lovely, but not the most photogenic, especially if we need to set up like a light or two. Like we're out of room. Like we're suddenly like, I don't know what you want to do.
Right.
So I might like, I don't know, find a studio or connect with someone who has other resources and location hookups and things like that. We'll see. Though
it could go anywhere.
Your comment about dress code reminded me of something that I want to talk to you about anyway, because I thought you would enjoy it. I'm heading to a business conference tomorrow, which we've alluded to, but not talked a lot about. I'm going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Most of the stuff is Thursday, Friday with like a little cocktail hour Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for it. I'm going to stick out a little bit. I'm not exactly the demographic. I think it's going to be overwhelmingly female and female presenting and overwhelmingly a little bit younger than me. You would fit in great. I don't think I'm going to be the only guy there, but I think I will be in the minority.
Okay.
And all of the communications around it are fairly female coded. It's a female runs the company who's hosting it. She is hosting it. Her name's Taylor. It's Taylor's thing. But it's like, evening cocktail hour, dress code, cute but dressy. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, I can parse together what that means, but like, it occurred to me, I was like, 0 times in my life have I ever aimed for cute but dressy. I've literally never done it. I'm like, okay, that's nice shirt, dark jeans, probably not the neon sneakers. That's what I'm gonna roll with, and I think it's gonna be okay. It's like cute but dressy, like, and there's so many things like, what do we wear during the day? Like casual but cute, no gym clothes. Like casual but cute is just adorable dress code to me.
Right, that is adorable. Yeah. Imagine that is very female coded.
It is. But I think I'll get along. I am actively worried about Friday. I think it's Wednesday stuff, events and presentations and stuff all day Thursday, events and presentations all day Friday. That's where like all the learning happens that I'm excited about. Friday night, everyone goes out apparently, like out on the town, have a good time. And there's all these pictures of like, excited fitness related people, overwhelmingly women, dressed up and having a good time in downtown Dallas. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I might go back to my room. I don't like, I want to play along. But I feel like I'm going to feel weird about it. I don't know.
You should go in like a Hawaiian button down. That is like not a threat.
Yes. So I'm in this. We've talked about this idea a little bit that maybe I perseverate on too much, but I don't want to come across as creepy ever, which in this kind of context I think is a bigger concern to me.
Correct.
Like, I'm slightly older and I'm one of the few men in the room. Everyone's alarm bells are going off a little bit, right?
Right.
Eyes are on me. Let's see. He might be fine. He's here. People who are here are pretty cool. Taylor said he's cool, but we'll see.
But is he a predator? Is he a secret predator?
And is it going to be weird having me along? Am I going to change the culture and be like an interloper on the night out? Like conference, I'm down. Like we all paid to be here. I want to be here. I want to get better. You want to get better. We're all heading in the same direction. But is having me at the table that we all get going to change the atmosphere and the interaction enough to make it significantly less pleasant for other people? Or am I making myself way too important and no one gives a shit? And I honestly don't know. I'm going to kind of like feel it out over a couple days and make a call.
If I can offer a suggestion,
Please.
I think it might be really helpful if you just distribute a small survey to everyone in attendance. Should Justin go to the social outing? Check yes or no.
Yeah. Yes. Check yes or no. I'll fold it up in a tight little folded square and just hand one to everyone. We'll Feel Strong branding on the back, of course. I'm not crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Open up like, do you want me to come out on Friday night? Check yes or no. So at least we can be really clear on the creepy thing. No one's going to be confused. I want to establish it.
That's just free from me to you.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I'll let you know how that goes. I can't imagine it could be anything but perfect.
Yeah, I think it's going to go really well. I can't wait to hear about it. I imagine we'll talk about that next week. Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to get out of the cold then.
Kind of. Like, it's going to be in the low 60s tomorrow or the day after, but it's like 38 there right now.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the hell? So it's also like what to wear is a little confusing.
Right.
Especially because I can't just wear gym clothes all the time with sweatpants over it. So I'm like, okay, so I need several lengths of sleeves and at least one jacket and a couple kinds of shoes. This is suddenly becoming like a real packing thing.
Well, and like jeans or khakis, like, yeah, that's not an overnight bag situation.
I have a travel backpack I like a lot. I haven't checked a bag in a very, very long time, and try very hard to not check a bag. I hate checking a bag. I have a travel backpack that works pretty well and can get pretty big, but also stuff under the seat in front of me. So 90+% of the time, I don't even have to put it overhead if I don't want to. But I could if I would, and no one's going to make me gate check it because it's a backpack. I strongly believe, this is a tip for anyone out there who like tries to carry stuff on and get stopped. If you are rolling your carry-on, your odds of having it gate checked skyrocket.
All the way up.
Because that's just a suitcase. They can take it. It's easy for them to roll. It's easy for them to move. If I have it on my back, one, it's a backpack. It doesn't read as luggage. Two, someone would have to carry it.
Yeah.
And these are people who carry shit all day long. They do a lot of work. They're not looking to have another 50 pounds in their hand if they can avoid it.
Right.
So if I have it on my back, I've had it stuffed so full of stuff, no one's ever even suggested I gate check it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow. When do you fly out? Is that tomorrow morning?
First thing tomorrow morning, yeah.
Is that why you've been asking about when people get to the airport?
Yes, exactly. I was thinking about that. What's your answer? So that we're referencing, this is going to be beyond dated, but I put a Instagram story survey up asking when people arrive at the airport, because it can be also like a little bit of a hot button thing. And I think the options were like 30 minutes before, an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours plus.
My answer is different if I'm traveling alone or with the small people.
Very fair. Excellent. Yep.
Very different. It was also different when I was pumping. So,
for sure. Yeah.
Like now we only live about 8 minutes from our airport, which is just hella convenient. It's so great. And I have on several occasions walked out the door an hour before my flight takes off.
Okay.
And on one of those occasions, my bag did not make it with me. I did check it, and it did not get where I was going, which was not great.
No.
Because I was only there for a weekend, and by the time I got my bag, I no longer needed it because I was going home.
Yes, because it was time to leave. And you were like, I'm going to check this again. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, just take it back.
Yeah.
But I'm team, like, I want to get there an hour early so that, like, if security at our airport is a little longer than I've expected, I do have pre-check, but sometimes still, like, there's maybe one agent only, and so they're just doing the best that they can.
Yep.
I want to make sure that I'm there early enough that if my gate has changed or if I want to get something to drink, use the restroom, yada, yada. I have the time and space to do that. However, my answer changes dramatically if I am dropping my children off somewhere and then going straight to the airport. In that instance, often I really like to work at the airport.
Yeah.
Because it like time stands still in an airport. There's nothing really to do, right?
Yeah.
Like you can listen to something or you can read. I find it really, really easy to focus in an airport. And so if it's like, hey, I'm dropping my children off and Ted and I are going on a trip, I will arrive like 3 or 4 hours early because I know, hey, I'm going to get some really focused heads downtime. And then like maybe we'll get a beer and be able to go on our trip like footloose and fancy free.
That's where I am as someone who doesn't have any little ones. Like I'm going to do on the other side of security what I would be doing at home anyways. Like within a couple hours of flight. Like everything's packed away. I don't have things I'm rushing around and doing. I am good to go and kind of just waiting for that step. Why don't we just get on the other side, like check all of the things that could possibly go wrong that I can control?
Yeah.
Aside from like flights getting delayed and stuff I can't move. But let's get through all of that. And then exactly, like I'm going to sit down, I'll read my book, I'll do some work, I'll have some coffee. I'm fine with hanging out for 2.5 hours. Like it doesn't bother me in the least. And then it's fine. I've had multiple times where things got held up. I'll tell you 2 quick stories. One, I was flying to Vegas to prep a show back in the day when I did that sort of stuff. I arrived at the airport just over 2 hours ahead of time. It was the day after a massive snowstorm. My flight was on time, but the day before, a ton of flights had gotten canceled. The lines, and I had to check a bag because I was bringing tools. This is the only time when back when I used to do stuff and I was traveling with 50 pounds of tools, you have to check those obviously because wrenches and knives and all that stuff. And I would pay outlandish overweight fees. Like it was $150 every time I checked a bag or something.
Yeah.
And I got there and the line to get to the ticket counter wound through all the little things out the door and down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. And I stood in line and an hour and a half in, I had just gotten inside the airport.
Oh, wow.
I was like, my flight's on time, but I can't check my bag and they're going to take it from me. I don't know what to do. Looking back, I could have done the sidewalk. You drive up and check it there thing. For extra money. I didn't understand that was a service or really what it was because I'd never done it. I just had never, it was like, why would I'm going to go right there. Why would I do it here? I probably could have done that because most of that line was people changing their tickets, which is why it was going so slowly. Every single person needed to be rebooked.
Right.
And so I called my boss. I was like, I'm not getting on this plane. And so, okay, there's not another flight till this afternoon. You're going to miss your first day of work. Okay, cool. I guess we should hire someone else for a day. Awesome. And that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Coming back from a job, coming through Atlanta, I was the first flight out. So I got there like basically when the airport opened, like 4:45 in the morning, walking through. So easy, barely anyone here, cruising through. It's like a Wednesday. Check in. I just have my carry-on. Boop, 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 boop. I get through security. They do a little like hand wipe thing. Goes, oh, just give me 1 second. I said, okay. And he's doing something on the computer.
Oh, no.
3 guys, 3 fucking dudes come out of nowhere. And I'm like, this the guy? Like, hi. They're like, right this way. My bag's over there. Like, yeah, we know. It's coming with us. Okay. And I got taken into a back room, which was way scarier than what I imagined. So it's like, I'm getting taken through the airport, like down a hallway and down a corner and down another hallway. And I was like, I'm about to walk into this room that's like metal counters and 200 TV screens and 3 people working on laptops and beeping lights. And I'm like ready to be terrified. It was so much worse than that. It was like a fucking closet with a folding table and a broken chair and no cameras and no windows. And they put me in there with 2 guys who started talking to me. It's like, this is much scarier. I would so much rather. This is awful. And they're just asking me all kinds of questions about what I do. I was like, yeah, I do lighting for entertainment. Sure. So you do like the pyrotechnics. You blow stuff up, right? No, absolutely not. I literally don't do that. I'm not licensed for it. I wouldn't do it for money. That stuff scares me. Oh, that's interesting. That's not what we think. I don't understand that answer, but I don't do anything like that. And all of my movements for the past several days, there's been hundreds of people around who can vouch for me. I was in everyone's way. This is where I was. Like, got a lot of explosive residue on your stuff. That's unlikely. Like it went on and on and on and on. And finally, a guy walked in with my bag that had obviously been like taken apart and put back together poorly, might I add.
Right.
It's like, okay, you're good to go. Have a good flight. So that was like a 75-minute delay I didn't expect. So I've had some stuff happen that makes me like, I'm just going to get there really early because someone's going to be bored and want to fuck with me, or something's going to happen, or this counter will be closed and I'll have to like run a lap around the airport or something. It's like, you know what? I bet I'm just going to get there like super early and have some gin. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fine. And instead, you're like verbally accosted by TSA.
Yeah. And it was only like, it's made so much easier. First of all, I was like, I'm white. I have a chance here.
Right.
And they have all my stuff. And I can just tell them honestly what I've been doing for several days.
Yeah.
I've been in this thing down the road, which is also like, they don't really want to fuck with entertainment people in Atlanta because they count on the tax revenue. Not like I'm a big deal. Like I'm sure movie people get arrested all the time.
Right.
But I was on pretty decent ground, but that was genuinely scary. Like I got brought in that room. I was like, no one knows where I am. Right. Because they took like my phone and everything right away. Like no one has any idea where I am. No one knows they didn't make a record. I didn't see anyone write down that I was going somewhere.
Right.
Some guys just showed up and brought me here. No one's identified themselves. Like as I'm sitting in the room, like this is actually real bad. It happened so fast, and I don't want to be in this situation anymore.
Right. You witness firsthand like how quickly due process can evaporate.
Instantly. It's like, wait, I don't think are you allowed to do and it's done.
Oh, we're gone.
We're here. So you say someone else has all my stuff, but you promise I'll get it back. Cool.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
As I left, one of the guys was like, a lot of like hand soaps and stuff have glycerin in them, so it was probably that. I was like, oh, so I washed my hands this morning. I may have put the moisturizer on. I don't remember. Like a coin flip on that one, leaving a hotel. It's like, I think people just wanted to fuck with me. Maybe it was genuinely a random check. Maybe I looked like a grumpy bearded guy who'd be fun to fuck with. I don't really know. How about now?
Yeah, I can hear you and see you. The bar is so low.
Oh, that was agonizing.
Chat.
You're not going to hear most of this, listeners, or any of it probably, but we just had like a 10-minute stop down because I had a tech, what could only be described as a tech implosion on my end.
Yeah.
But I think we've sorted it out now. I think.
Yes.
It's all messed up. And you're on the other side of the screen. Everything's crazy now.
Everything's
this is gonna
bad.
Be an editing nightmare. Fine. It's fine. It's all fine.
And you'll be able to determine where in the episode we are on which side is Weezy.
No, I'll go through and fix that. I can play with that. But it's gonna be a whole thing. I don't even remember what we were talking about when everything blew up.
No, I don't either. I have no idea. Anyway. I don't know.
Oh, airports and getting there ahead of time. And I told you my awful Georgia scary story. Yeah. I
don't have any scary stories, but I do have two weird things that happened to me at an airport. So the first one that's weird is that I had like a full year of like eat, pray, love type behavior.
Okay.
And I was traveling a lot. Most of it was alone. Gallivanting, as you might say.
Sure.
And on this particular trip, I was returning home from being in Barcelona for about 2 weeks. And I had a like 5 or 6 hour stopover in Dublin. And it was around breakfast time. And I decided I don't think I'm going to be confronted with an opportunity to do this again, which is eat pancakes and drink a Guinness.
It doesn't come up very often.
No, it doesn't come up very often. So it was like, okay, we're going to do this. And so sat down at like an actual restaurant at the Dublin airport and got a big plate of pancakes and a big old beer. And about 5 minutes after my food arrives, I hear on the loudspeaker, Louisa Catherine Shoemaker, for an urgent needs to report to a certain gate.
Well.
It was not my gate. It was not a place that I was flying to or from, but that is my full legal name.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I now have a decision to make. And so I chugged this Guinness, like fucking downed it.
I mean, I bet it was $28 of Guinness in the airport.
Right. And like, I mean,
fortunately, it's a super chuggable beer. So it's
fortunately,
okay.
it's not viscous at all.
Yeah,
it's down really, really smooth.
You might as well like eat a full loaf of bread before you leave the table. All right, away we go.
I don't think you've ever seen somebody eat pancakes so fast, because I'm like, urgent need. I gotta go. There is a Norwegian. So I get to the gate, and I said, I'm Louisa Catherine Shoemaker. What do you need? And they said, what? And I said, the call over the loudspeaker for Louisa Catherine Shoemaker, urgent need, report to this gate. There was somebody else in the airport at the same time as me with my same full legal name.
What?
She's Swedish, which makes sense.
Sure.
And she was like about to miss her flight. And they called her by name. And so they were confused because this like old Swedish woman had just boarded their flight, and they were like, what are you talking about? Like, I showed them my passport. It was like, look, Louisa Catherine Shoemaker, it's me. What do you need? And so then I was like, fuck, like this meal that I was expecting to like savor over the course of like 90 to 120 minutes, I just ate for time.
Yeah. You do not remember what it tasted like, but now you're full.
Right. And so I did something really stupid, which is I went and I sat at a bar and I got another beer to savor, which was a real problem because at the time I was like maybe 145 pounds soaking wet and not really drinking it all that much. Yeah. And then it's, like 9:30 in the morning and I've had 40 ounces of Guinness.
Getting loose in the Dublin airport. I wanted you to like get to that counter and then have someone out in the crowd stand up and say, no, I'm Louisa Catherine Shoemaker. And someone else like, actually, I'm Louisa Catherine. We are all Louisa Catherine Shoemaker. That's so weird. That would have been my last guess. Like they do that in, that's why in hospitals, they also double check birth date and often social security number before they do anything. Because every once in a while, they're like, are you Justin McClintock? Are you Justin Thomas McClintock? Born on X, like, yes. Why do we do this so often? Like, because 10 years ago, we gave anesthesia to the wrong guy, and it was a whole thing.
Right. We took out a kidney that was perfectly healthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And then the other weird thing that this was truly weird. With my first pregnancy, my first postpartum, I was an overproducer. I fed 3 entire children. Like, I was feeding Walter, and then I was also pumping enough that I supported a preemie whose mom's milk never came in, and another friend who had an undersupply. Like, I supplied her with, like, she came to my house and picked up breast milk every other week.
There's the factory.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking like almost a gallon a day. Like, my life sucked. My life sucked. At one point, we had over 1,000 ounces of breast milk in the freezer.
Oh my God.
And Ted was like, could we sell this? I was like, could you go fuck yourself?
We're not making this something that
We're
you
not
think is
like
good.
I don't want like yes, this somebody would pay a lot of money for this, but then I have to deal with like what weird gym bro is like profiting off of my breast milk. Gross.
And just takes so much fucking time. Like I
So
can't
much
imagine
time.
the
So much
time.
time.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God. I'm so sorry.
We're talking about like
Awful.
20-ish minutes every 3.5 hours or so for a year. So I had to travel once while I was still lactating.
Okay.
And I was gone for like a full week. It was a pretty long trip where I was not with Walter. And I brought the milk back with me, and you can like carry it on or check it if it's breast milk up to a certain amount.
Right.
They do like to check all of it. And so like imagine if I'm able to pump a gallon a day and I've been gone a week.
Yeah.
And they're all in like 5 to 6 ounce
Oh
baggies
my God.
that I've like frozen.
There's no, yeah. I
I
would
mean,
pull you aside immediately and be like, this is bullshit.
right. It was probably 25 pounds of just frozen breast milk
Yeah.
in 5-ounce pieces. And I remember this, he couldn't have been more than like 22 years old, young
Yeah.
man, like opens the box and he goes, "What is this? You can't bring that on." I was like, "I can. It's breast milk." He goes, "All of it?" "Yeah, all of it." Um, Mind you, also, I had shipped a box home too.
Okay.
Like I paid to
Yeah.
have like freeze dried, and so that was not all of it.
Wasn't all of it.
I did what I could. Um, and he just like, and he puts on his gloves, like he's
Yeah.
like clearly like
So annoyed.
I am not fucking paid enough for this.
I
He
don't
puts
want
his
to do
gloves
this.
on. He goes to like the middle of the pile and pulls out one bag
Sure.
and tests that one and puts it back and said, just go.
I mean, a very fair spot check. Like, I'd be like, no, it's not. Is this the laziest test ever? Or is this just what? What? What are you
So joke's
doing?
on him. The rest of them had
Yeah.
narcotics in them, so.
Oh my God.
But he
That's
was
amazing.
like really, really annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like, neither one of you were wrong, right?
No.
Like you were doing everything right, and I would have been annoyed too because like
Right.
that looks like an awful job that should it exist? I'm not so sure in various forms the way they do it, but
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Don't you think that if I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't? Don't you think?
Yeah. Every once in a while, someone will send me a these gym bros are allegedly using breast milk as like a protein source kind of thing and
Sure.
believe it has certain benefits, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm always like, look, it shockingly, as far as I know, has never been studied. I strongly believe this is way more kinky than protein benefit. Like,
right.
believe whatever you want.
Say whatever you want about like colostrum and all that. This is a weird fetish.
This is a thing, and I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying that I don't think that the science arguments you're trying to make don't really hold water. The I really like doing this arguments, that's as we say all the time. Sure.
Right.
If everyone's
Sure.
on board and you like doing it and everyone's consenting and happy, high five, go for it.
Okay, there's something I think that we should talk about, and I don't think I'm going to talk about this on social, so don't put it on social. But if somebody listens to this, you have enough about us that
if you've gotten this deep in this episode, bring it.
So we've talked about this at length, right? I have struggled with body image issues my whole life, right? And wanting to be confident in what I'm capable of, but also like totally reasonably wanting to be happy with the way that I look.
Mhm.
And my whole life, even when I was at my absolute leanest, which was an extremely unhealthy weight,
Yeah.
I have always had a pretty large lower belly pooch.
Mhm.
And it's always bothered me, right? And it also commonly is a reason that I have to size up and
Yeah.
then feel less confident in clothing because it doesn't fit me the way that it should because I have this lower belly pooch that I'm not happy with.
Mhm.
And I have been like also affronted on social media with people on both sides of the aisle of like, you need to love your body at any size, and if you do something to change it, you don't actually love yourself. Whereas people on the other side are like, yeah, fix anything and everything all the time for any reason without like investing in
Right.
loving yourself. And so I've decided after a pretty decent consideration period to pursue some cosmetic procedures. And I'd like to share that on the podcast, I think.
Sure.
Right. I mean, I'm already talking about it, but I think I'd like to keep you all up to date. I've decided to do cool sculpting, which gets a bad rap because we only hear about the things that went wrong.
To a degree, I think that's true.
Yeah. So, have had toyed with and have several close friends who have gone like a liposuction or tummy
Mhm.
tuck route. And I really don't want to have surgery. Um, I don't want to take time off. I don't want to take time off of my training. Um, and also, I would really love to lose that lower belly fat that diet, exercise, all the things that we talk about that I am doing and am prioritizing have not and will not move the needle on that
Yeah.
specifically, right? We can't spot target. But cool sculpting essentially is going to like suction that part of my body into like a big suction cup and cool it to 11 degrees below zero. That is not going to affect my actual organs, but it is going to kill off some fat cells, which will then be processed out. See the digestion episode.
Yeah, exactly. That's the theory behind it is that you make it cold enough that the fat cells actually die.
Right,
And I think I don't know if it's common knowledge. Your body has the same number of fat cells all the time. They get bigger, they
right,
get smaller. Everyone has X number of fat cells, save some weird outliers. There's occasionally some like supplements and other things that happen that seem to maybe create the possibility of growing more fat cells. But you have X number of fat cells. So if they disappear, if they're gone
right,
and uh, should not be able to, you know, return there. I don't know about
right,
redistributing and how any of that works in a healthy body. I actually don't know
right,
the answer to that, but the idea is that they'll be gone.
right.
They, we haven't, you told me about this a while ago. We haven't really talked about it.
Yeah.
Can I share my concern and why I think this is a good idea for you?
Yes, please.
So people have asked me about this procedure in the past, and I'm skeptical to start with. I'm skeptical about everything.
Yes.
And the idea of sort of what you presented, like, we have great news. It's like liposuction, except you don't have to do all the hard, difficult, bad stuff like liposuction. It's so much easier. Doesn't that sound amazing? And all of my like snake oil alarms immediately go off. Like, what are you talking about? Of course, like,
Right,
wouldn't everyone just do that if it worked?
right,
The My understanding is that yes, you can get fat cells cold enough to kill them off. Yes, you can do this, but it's very, 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 very small numbers of fat cells. And that
mm,
it frequently, now I haven't looked into this in coming on 10 years. The last time I did like a little bit of a dive on this was
right,
that part of the thing was, oh, it took a bunch of treatments for what are frankly very small results.
right,
What you're after is I mean this in a loving, respectful way, very small results. You're after something
right.
very particular. We're not trying to lose 30 pounds. We're
No,
not trying to radically reshape your body.
that's
And you
correct.
have uh, played around enough and experimented enough in both directions with diet and exercise that we've kind of honed in on the fact that you would have to get to a dangerous level of leanness to move that part of your body. Because we've
Correct.
gotten very lean, and that's been very visible lots of other places, but that's just people gain weight in a certain order. If it's different for everyone, they tend to lose weight in that reverse order. Like the last place to gain fat is the first place to lose fat, which is where people have like the trouble zones or that kind of stuff, and explain to people that they can't spot reduce through any kind of special exercise or diet. There is no core exercise that is going to show your abs more, save making them big enough to poke through whatever is covering them. But what you're describing, first of all, is the end of a long journey of trying really hard and doing a lot of really smart things really well, watching them work and getting 95% of what you want, and this 5% appears to be unattainable through these methods. So you're going to try something that's a pretty conservative treatment. There are some there's some necrosis things that have happened and some other like nasty side effects, but there's nasty side effects with everything. They seem to be pretty low level, very low percentage that they happen. And so putting those all together, it kind of makes sense. I'm also, this may or may not be true, but I'm not concerned that you're going to become someone who 3 months from now is having another big cosmetic procedure somewhere else. And 3 months after that is having another one somewhere else. I think we've probably both had friends who like got a thing done and suddenly were like,
got the itch.
You're getting your eyes done for the 7th time. Like, what are you even talking about? Oh, well, we're going to do a tiny adjustment. And they get drawn to that world, which is, again, people can do whatever they want to their body. God bless, as long as everyone's on board with it. But I don't know that it's always the most kind of mentally healthy, and surgery is always surgery and comes with surgery risks no matter what it is. So I'm sort of skeptical of the procedure as a whole and think there's probably a lot of people selling it for the wrong reasons to the wrong people. And are bad people because they do that. But it can also be a useful tool in very specific applications, which this seems to be.
One thing that I was very delighted about that they did, and I can't say that this would necessarily be everybody's experience or that every practitioner would do this, but the person who I met with about this specific procedure, 1, it's the #1 place in Ohio. 2, it's the #4 in the country. And so they're commonly undoing somebody else's botched work. Like, that was a big question that I had is, what are your success outcomes, and of the negative outcomes that you're fixing, how many of them are your mistakes, right? Like I'm really interested in knowing that. And as a part of the consult for Cool Sculpting, she went through like some nutritional and lifestyle habit counseling and saying like, hey, to set you up for the best outcome, right? Like, because this is going to go through your natural detox pathways in like the least amount of drink your detox tea kind of way, but just, hey, your
liver
body,
and your kidneys are going to be involved.
Right. We need to make sure that they are functioning optimally. And so it's going to be like the best way that you can support your success in this is also by eating a protein and fiber rich diet, sweating at least 3 times a week, but ideally daily, strength training, and like doing things to better your health in general. Like the best outcome happens when those things are happening too, because if we've got stagnant lymph, if our detox pathways are not working optimally, you're not going to see the results that you want to see, because that's a key part of the equation here. And I was really delighted by that. And when I told her all of the things that I'm doing already, she said, great, we don't need to do anything differently. Like, this also affirms for me that you're a wonderful candidate for this, because if what you've just outlined to me is how you've been living your life for the last several years, I would do this too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's it's easy to see that as someone. I had a conversation on Instagram earlier today that you might find funny. We can talk about that in a minute. But someone having that moment. A lot of times, when you or I get clients, it's one of there's an inciting factor when someone comes in, is like, especially if they reach out. I get to like, hey, I'm ready to join Feel Strong. What do I do? Like, oh, cool. Let's get on a call. What happened? Something happened. What is
Something
it?
happened.
Like, some collection of things. There's been a period of time. Someone said something to you. You've finally, like, it's built up enough that this is the moment.
Right.
And instead of calling you, someone would call the cool sculpting studio.
Right.
Say, I'm ready to make a change. This is step one. And it sounds like, hopefully, I don't know if they would or not, but hopefully they would say, this shouldn't be step one. We're actually a bad step one because it's not even going to work. And then you're going to be a mad client who leaves bad reviews and be a giant pain in the butt and come back 20 more times asking for free stuff.
Right.
Why don't you go see Wheezy or someone like Wheezy and build some habits and routines of movement and eating and sleeping and stress management? See how that does. It will become clear what, if anything, you want to do after that. And then we can have a conversation.
Right. Yeah. It did feel very much like, hey, I want to make sure before you sign anything, before we take any amount of your money, that you understand that this is going to be the key predictor of a positive or neutral outcome for you.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it was cool. So I can't speak to even that another practitioner at the same exact place would do it the same way, but I really appreciated that. And it's just affirmed for me, like, okay, this is a good step. And if it doesn't work, it's not so intrusive or expensive that, like, I'm cursing my days.
Yeah, like risk of infection is extremely low. Risk of like side effects are super bad. What's the from cool, I just had the procedure to we think this is probably the final result from at least that first. I know sometimes people do like a bunch of visits or need to have it done multiple times. I don't know how the pricing or their structure with that works, but what's the idea from like, oh, I just did it. This is now the final result from that one time of doing it. Do we know what that timeline usually looks like?
So I will have 3 visits for treatments that are a month apart. My first one is tomorrow. So like getting started. And then they say that we consider like final to be about 3 months after the last treatment. Where I can expect to not really see any result at all for between 6 to 8 weeks. So like, hey, I will look roughly the same. I should start to be looking a little different by my final treatment.
Cool.
And then it just continues moving in that direction.
That's nifty. I like it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm glad you're doing it. And I appreciate you sharing it with me. And of course, all these lunatics.
All these lunatics. Yeah, the 17 people that listen to us gab on the regular. Exactly. I just, I think that there's I've watched some other creators be, like, for lack of a better word, like crucified over doing things that kind of people don't think fit into what they should be doing, or like, well, hey, if you're not able to like lose that last couple of pounds in your low belly, how can you expect to be effective for anybody else? Because I'm not masquerading around saying follow my program and get a 6-pack. I'm telling people I can help you be stronger, more resilient, have better habits, and live a life that you're more inspired by. That's actually true whether or not I get a cosmetic procedure.
Yeah, exactly. And yes. And can you imagine how much pain someone must be in to make comments like that?
Totally.
That's what whenever someone, because people will come at me sometimes for whatever, like being old or having a belly or doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
And like literally the first thing that springs to mind is like, wow, like where must you be that you found me? Because inevitably it's people I don't know.
Right.
That you found me and decided to like be mean on purpose. I'm assuming like you want to fight or arise or to start something, or you're using this for your content in a way I don't understand. Like, what an awful life, man. Like, I hope things get better because that sounds terrible.
Right. Yeah. This is also like on the path towards having, hopefully, better metrics from like a cholesterol and lipoprotein standpoint as well. I'm hoping that this moves things potentially in a more positive direction. It's also possible that in the next, I don't know, we'll see. We're in the diagnostic pathway of discovering whether or not it would be wise to have my uterus removed. And without getting into symptoms and some things that I would consider to be things that I would prefer to keep closer to the chest. I believe that my quality of life will improve when there's a little less belly fat, and also potentially when my uterus stops trying to kill me.
Yes, when it stops trying to actively attack you.
Right. So we'll see. This is kind of like equal parts aesthetic and health, and let's try to move things in a positive direction conservatively, because a hysterectomy would be a major surgery.
That's a big deal surgery. I don't think people always realize that.
No, it's a major surgery, and also part of the benefit of cool sculpting is that I won't really have to take any time off of my training, which has become a really important part of my life. And with any surgery, there's going to be a period of rehab, particularly if it's a hysterectomy. I'm going to have to treat that basically like another postpartum. And I don't fucking want to do that again right now.
No, even a laparoscopic one, if you're a candidate for that, there's a bunch of recovery and there's a bunch of stuff you wouldn't be able to do for a little while.
Right. And having to have the conversation about, like, great, am I now in medical menopause and have to consider like HRT for the rest of my life? Like, what does that look like potentially? So I think we're probably moving in that direction, but we have to eliminate a bunch of other stuff first, and it's unlikely to be over the next 8 months.
Right.
It's like, okay, let's take a big step and see what changes, if anything. And we make the best decision that we can with the information that we have at the time.
Completely. You know, that idea, this might be an idea for an episode. We might want to do a whole thing about this. But I made a post, it's coming out next week or something, about, I think I titled it, "Of Course Looks Matter."
Yeah.
And it's the idea, and I think we've talked about this before, you know, people often come to you or I for some pretty big, sometimes emergent reasons. You know, like, I can't walk with confidence because of my knee. I can't do the activities I really like to do because of my back. I'm not a cripple, but I can't play pickleball with confidence because that bent over position is hell for me. And that's what I want to get back to. And these are big, compelling reasons. I'm not confident putting my kids on my shoulder anymore, and they really like riding on my shoulder. I need to do something about my neck. That's an awesome reason one.
Yeah.
If I ask for like the top 5 reasons, and one of them isn't look better in my perception of looking better, like from the person,
right?
You know, if I'm the client, if I don't say in the top 5, like, I'd like to look a little bit better in these ways that I consider looking better, then I know I'm being lied to. And that's okay. Like,
it's okay.
Some of, 10% of my training right now is just about getting fucking jacked.
Yeah.
Is it the top of my list? No. 90% of the stuff is doing other things, but it's on the list.
Right.
And I'm okay admitting that. And that's why I'm doing this 10% of the stuff. And sometimes that 10% is what actually gets me in the gym anyway. It's like, well, if I go do all this miserable shoulder rehab and plyo balance stuff and things I'm not excited about, at the end, I'm going to get a sick chest pump. Sweet.
Sweet.
I'm excited about that part, and I'm going to get to it. And I think that's, 1, human, and 2, fine. Not something that we should apologize for or pretend doesn't exist or pillory people for because they're working partly, at least, on aesthetics.
Right. Yeah. And if you're a coach listening to this, that can be an important conversation to have with your clients, particularly if they're people who have big, meaty, challenging goals that they're chasing after. Hey, if these are your vegetables, what do you consider cake?
Completely.
Like, that's not going to be all that we do, but I want to pepper that in so that you stay in love with this.
Yeah. And it feels good. I have someone right now who's doing it's mostly like breathwork energy stuff with a little bit of mobility. And it is so like apnea work and diaphragm pulses and legit no fun.
Miserable.
And some awesome glute stuff. And like, and the feedback is always like, this was awful. I hated this. This was tough. Oh my God, my glutes are sore. This program's amazing. Great.
Great.
And she will do her awful breathwork stuff tomorrow too. And that's cool with me.
That's right. Yeah. We need cake, both literally and figuratively.
Yeah. The cake is not a lie. It's real. We got to keep it in there.
I've been meaning to check in with you on your shoulder.
So the shoulder is improving. It is demonstrably improving. It's moving more slowly than I would like, which is annoying, but I still think I'm on the right path because it's still improving.
That's great.
I've upped frequency and volume of stuff I'm doing for it, and it seems to be responding pretty well to that. So I have like a TheraBand warm-up I do every single day, no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing active weighted shoulder stuff 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm slightly changing up what some of that looks like.
Yeah.
Because what used to irritate it doesn't irritate it anymore. So I'm chasing like the irritated tissues.
Right.
I now think, and I consulted with a PT about this, that it might be a capsule problem more than just a muscle problem, which also explains why it's been so slow to recover. Because like capsules, like you kind of do the same things to make it better, but muscle stuff is like 3 or 4 weeks, and capsule stuff is like 8 to who fucking knows weeks. Like, okay, so if that's true, I'm less despondent, but I'm having fewer like nasty flare-ups.
That's great.
And things like that. I can still like hang from a bar. I was doing some strong scap pull-ups the other day. I did assisted dips with a full range of motion, but staying on a band because I jumped up there to try one, and like my nervous system wouldn't let me do it. Like it was like I was frozen. I was like
no.
Like it just like shut down. I was like, okay, fair.
That's interesting.
What if I put a bunch of assistants down and a bunch like I don't know, a medium band,
right?
And I would like bottomed out, like way down the bottom, right back up. Felt pretty good, and I could use a lighter and lighter band. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to get greedy. That's huge progress and a thing I haven't done in a while. But I'm now confident that we can progress that also. Right. So it's good. It's just slow and annoying, and there's still things I can't like. In this wintertime, putting on a coat is hard like that. It's the reaching behind me internal rotation that hurts. So I have to like put on a coat like a little kid, like hold my arm out and like or taking a shirt off. Like a lot of times I'll just do the crossed arm, take the shirt off, and that internal rotation coming over hurts. But I won't realize it until like I'm so used to doing it. I just do it fast.
You're there.
Like, so it's getting better, and I have a lot of hope, but it's annoyingly slow in the way that these things often are.
Yeah. Well, and I imagine knowing how slow it is doesn't make it better when you're living it.
No, it's still because it's all this day-to-day stuff and certain things I can't do, and I'm being very cognizant of not cutting all shoulder stuff out because it's easy with like something with the shoulder or something with the knee to just you can lose a lot of strength and a lot of mobility, and like I could create other problems we need to unfuck later on.
Right.
So I'm at like every single, at least once a week I'm doing like ring support drills and bar hang drills and dip drills, and I'm still like benching and doing like upper body hypertrophy, pushing, pulling to make sure that still all works like well within tolerance, way within our pain rules, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But not cutting it just because it's a little scary, but just rolling with, I don't really care what the number is. We're going to find something that feels good and move there. And all of that is very steadily progressing.
Right. I mean, that's also how you retrain your nervous system to chill the fuck out.
I think a lot of it is that. Like, this is, there's a nerve at least tangentially involved here.
Right.
And, teaching my system that these things are okay to do and it's not time to panic and lock everything up is going to be really important.
Right. I'm glad that things are moving in a good direction. That's great.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Of course. I've been thinking about it because you have been posting some shoulder stuff. I'm like, I wonder how that's actually feeling. It looks good. How's it feeling?
Yeah. And that's part of it. Like, and there's a side, like kind of sales part of it to being like, I don't know, what does your shoulder rehab look like? Like, yes, I do use a band for warm up.
Right.
But I also bench 240 as part of my shoulder rehab. Like, we built up to this, and it is a tempo progression part of it. And this can be part of it too.
Right.
Like, there's lots of ways to make things better.
There's not to say that there's anything wrong with band work and internal, external rotation drills and pails and rails and all that. But like, if your rehab doesn't include some things that actually get you in the direction of what training looks like, then it's falling woefully short.
Yeah, those can't be the finish line. That might be the way in. And that might be the only thing at the beginning. Like, if you're doing band internal and external rotations and it's murder, no, we shouldn't put a 20-pound dumbbell in your hand and do those, because that would be a super bad idea. But when you can just like roll through that band sequence in under a minute without even thinking about it, and it doesn't feel like much, well, now we literally need to add resistance.
Right.
And there's a bunch of ways to do it, and they all involve you moving against weight.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you?
I think we wrap it there. I mean, I always have stuff to talk about, but I feel like we went on for a while despite the technical mishaps. And yeah, I think we'll roll.
Sweet. Well, I hope you have safe travels. And this isn't a personal phone call. This is a podcast.
I will expect an update tomorrow, though, about how things go. Yes, you can update these people if you want to, but I expect an update.
You fuckers don't get any more information. That's it.
Yeah, that might be it. That's okay.
No, I will.
Hooray for boundaries.
I will be sure to share what I feel is appropriate to share. And I'm looking forward to being very cold for the majority of tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Legit
Shockingly, cool sculpting is in fact cold. It's in the name.
Who saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? Not I. Team, if you hated this podcast format, you can just like turn it all the way off, because we're gonna keep doing this every, I don't know, 10 or so, because it's fun. It's a palate cleanser. It's an opportunity for you to get into our brains a little bit without it being so scripted. If there's ever a topic that you would love for us to riff on in a less formal podcast, that could be a section that could be considered for a Shoot the Shit podcast. So let us know. This has been Training Partners. I'm Wheezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We will catch you next time.
Later, team.
Here come your training partners, so smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to shine.